What's going on, guys? Radio Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, I am going to be going into spoilers, so if you have not seen this film yet, you may want to come back to this after you've seen Ant-Man 3. Now, as you guys may know, I wasn't really looking forward to this. If you're familiar with my channel, I've been basically shitting on this movie every chance I got. Just because it didn't look very good. The Ant-Man movies don't have a good reputation of being very well made. The first one's just whatever. You watch it and you never think about it ever again kind of movie. The second one was even worse. Very bland, forgettable, generic Marvel shit that we get nowadays. So I wasn't very excited for this one. And now that I've watched it, after seeing it with the terrible score it has on Rotten Tomatoes and everybody saying that the movie's just pretty bleh, I can officially tell you from my own mouth after seeing the movie, yeah, they're pretty much right. Let's go with the characters first. First of all, Kang. Kang is probably the best thing about this entire movie, as you've already heard. Kang and Janet, all of their scenes, I actually really enjoyed when they had scenes together. That was all pretty well done. Kang was a really great villain, for the most part. We'll get to why he kind of also isn't later. But yeah, all that I really enjoyed. I also liked all the kind of things they did with shrinking and expanding things. It was kind of fun and creative at points in the movie. Like they get a tiny little pizza and they just expand it. It's just little things like that. It's kind of like a fun little thing to add to your franchise. That's not something you see in any other kind of movies. So I thought that was pretty fun. Now, as far as the other characters, who cares about them? I mean, these characters are so fucking bland. You have Cassie, who's played by a new actress now. The actress is terrible, by the way. Her acting is awful throughout the whole film. I'm sure she's not a bad actress. It's just, for some reason in this movie, she's just really bad. Like, there's times where she's like supposed to be excited, and she just comes off as very just like, dude. Like, she just doesn't want to be there. She just doesn't care. She doesn't have any kind of expression. Acting was just pretty bad from her all over. Did not really feel like they were actually a father and daughter. I didn't buy that relationship at all. Janet, who I don't even remember from the last film at all, she wasn't that bad. She was kind of like, oh, I'm holding a secret. She does that for like the entire movie. Like, she's just holding a secret and she just slowly reveals it. It's that same old thing they do in the movies. Where it's like, oh, the character knows something, but they can't tell us yet because the audience has to find out later in the film. Speaking of that, there's another thing they do in here where, you know that thing they do in movies where somebody gets captured and then there's like a girl on each side. And then the character just, like, I don't know, snaps their fingers to distract them and then they just, like, slap them around and throw them on the ground. That happens a lot in this film, where Kang's little bodyguards capture one of Scott Lang's characters and then they just easily overpower them. Even though these are some of the weakest characters in the entire MCU, like their entire power is just shrinking and growing. Oh, we can get super strength sometimes when we expand, or, you know, we have those zappers on our wrists. Like, these are the weakest fucking characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for some reason, they're putting up a fight against Kang the Conqueror. This guy has been hyped up as like the big bad for the rest of the MCU, at least this next phase going forward. And yet, he gets overpowered and his ass whooped by fucking Ant-Man. The guy who fucking talks to ants is beating up our new Thanos. This is the equivalent if they introduced Thanos in like Captain America the Winter Soldier, and he's getting his ass whooped by Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon. Just imagine if that's how they introduced Thanos in the MCU. Not by him beating the shit out of Thor and Hulk, like they did in Infinity War. No, he's in like Captain America 2 and he's getting his ass whooped by people who have no powers. Not really, no. That's basically what Kang is like in this film. Like, I actually thought he was a pretty cool villain until he gets his ass whooped by Ant-Man. I never bought for a minute that he actually killed a bunch of different Avengers. I did not believe that at all. Like, bro, this is Ant-Man we're talking about. You should be able to kill him with like one shot. Why the fuck are you getting your ass whooped and your armor's getting destroyed? This is just so fucking stupid. It's really laughable. This is the new Thanos that they're trying to hype up. He was completely laughable. They did a better job of introducing him with Loki. They shouldn't have even put him in this film. Like, why is Kang the Conqueror, aka the new Thanos for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, going up against the worst characters in the entire MCU? I mean, fucking Cassie Lang? Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, and MODOK is in this movie, if anybody gives a fuck about that. I don't even know who the fucking character is supposed to be. But yeah, I never bought MODOK as an intimidating character at all. He's told to go kill Cassie, and he just kind of just runs up on her and gives her a spark. Like, hey, I kind of have to kill you now, hee buddy. Like, he wasn't intimidating at all. He was just a fucking idiot. His character was really laughable. He looked so fucking stupid. He's just a giant old head. It's fucking laughable, and I don't think in the way that they intended it to be. He's literally a laughable character. And of course, as we all know, the CGI and green screen, it's all fucking terrible. I've already gone over that several times by talking about this film. It really does look like the fucking Spy Kids movie. But yeah, Hank is in it. He doesn't really do anything but drive a fucking ship. And then he shows up at the end with a bunch of ants. That's all his character does the whole fucking movie. None of the humor in here is funny at all. I didn't buy that any of these people were a family at all. We get a bunch of other characters that look like just fucking rejects from other big sci-fi movies like Dune and Star Wars, all that shit. I feel like I was watching the prequels at a certain point in this film. When we get into the quantum realm, it was just like a bunch of fucking characters from the Star Wars prequels. The music is basically non-existent. You don't even notice that it's there. There's absolutely nothing in this whole film as far as directing or cinematography, music. None of it stands out at all. It's all very bland. You don't even fucking notice it at all. It's just so terrible. There's only like maybe one cool action scene in the whole film, and that's with Kang. But even that, it's not worth the whole time you have to sit through the film. But yeah, I don't see myself ever rewatching this movie again. Just another generic, bland Marvel movie. This is supposed to be the epic one too. They've been hyping this up since Kang's in it. But unfortunately, it was just pretty blah. But yeah, nothing amazing here. I don't know why they're not killing off these characters. This isn't the last Ant-Man movie. Why are these characters still sticking around? Ant-Man doesn't go through any kind of character arc at all. He just kind of finds this bad guy. He's forced to do something for him. And that's basically it. He defeats him at the end. He doesn't learn anything as a character. There's just nothing here. Scott Lang is such a bland fucking character in the MCU. I couldn't name you like 3 things about any of the other characters in this film. Like, I dare you right now. Name me 3 things about Cassie. What, she's a good person? What else? Exactly. She has like no personality. None of these characters do. They're all fucking bland. You know what the Ant-Man movies are? They're basically just like if someone serves you unseasoned chicken. Like all they did was just cook it. They didn't put any kind of seasoning on it or anything. That's basically what these movies are. Just unseasoned as fuck. And it's disgusting. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Ant-Man 3. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you think I'm being too hard on this movie? Do you think it's actually not as bad as the critics are saying? Or do you agree with me that yeah, this movie was pretty trash and it's very forgettable? So basically another Ant-Man movie. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video.